Okay, so you guys remember this viral video of this woman who went on a 11-day vacation and she came back and her house was thrashed? Well, there has been an update. She has posted an update on her page. Okay, so this lady finally did an update video. So she had a video where she is throwing out all the toys. She said the toys have got to go. She did not update us on what the status is with her and her husband. I mean, he is the one that allowed the kids to do all of this. The kids are being punished, but what about the husband? The husband is the one that was in charge and obviously is the negligent party. So what happened? I do not know. She made a whole 7-second video showing us that she could handle these kids. But what about the husband? You know, obviously it's a little bit easier to put kids on punishment, but what about the dad? Seen that display of either weaponized incompetence going towards malicious incompetence. Let's talk about this Reddit thread. This person says, do you trust your husband to watch your kids? To watch your kids, not to parent your children that you created together and this was an adult meal. No, to watch your kids. All right, she says, my husband thinks he's somewhat typical in that he isn't responsible enough to be left alone with small children. Remember the fact also that these are the most logical people and leaders. Remember that part. All right. He says, I told him most fathers are. I'm curious what others think. I think I have enough answers after reading the comments. I realized that I could have explained it better. I was reading a Reddit post about a careless father, and my husband made a remark about how most fathers are not responsible enough to care for kids. I disagreed and told him so. He was a terrible father when he was younger. We both know that and regret it. I wanted to show that it is not typical. I'm happy to see all the posts about good dads. He had a terrible childhood, but he has continued to try to be a better person. He was selfish and lazy, but is trying harder to be better. If I had known how hard it would be, I wouldn't have stayed with him, mostly because children should have stable, competent parents. People can overcome their faults, but life is short. Yes, people should have competent parents. Absolutely. And just imagine if something were to happen, you get sick, something worse, and your minor children or just children in general are left with this person. That adult person that you procreate with should absolutely be able to care for them. So this person says someone is avoiding responsibility, and the OP says weaponized incompetence, maybe. She's saying this about her own husband, weaponized incompetence. She recognizes this. This person says, shut this down. He's a father now. He has to parent. And stop calling it watching the kids. It's parenting. Parents don't babysit, they parent. Follow up. If you don't trust him with his own children, immediately dump him and seek full custody. I mean, you really think about it, he'll let your children get hurt because he's that inept or worse. If you really don't trust him, like really don't ignore that. If he makes a mess, feeds them junk, or lets them stay up too late, those things are a pain in the butt, but your children will survive until he gets his head out of his butt. These things are fixable. Edit 2. I shouldn't have said immediately dump him. There is room for nuance here. Some inept partners deserve a chance to shape up, but this is definitely a shape up or ship out situation. This person says also don't let him drive a car. Cars and kids are a lot of responsibility. You have to pay attention. Now, lopsided mix is kind of trolling. He says, how many families have you broken up with that nonsense attitude? He doesn't like that we're trying to hold these men accountable. Someone says zero because I'm some rando on the internet. If you had kids though, and your partner was such an idiot that you felt your kids would get hurt if you weren't there, would you really stay with that person if they didn't shape up? A lot of people do, but they seem unhappy. This person says, I've worked with the state to remove children from households where they were experiencing criminal neglect. What is being described here? And no number is too many. Children do not deserve to be neglected because a parent couldn't get over their daddy issues. Your children are living people, not therapy puppers to work through your own childhood trauma. Families that deserve children put in the work to show evidence that they deserve children. Children are people with inalienable human rights, not property of a person with a genetic. Okay, someone made a comment, just like I felt with another post this week, God himself could not get me to admit something as tragic as this. Aren't you mortified you settled for a large adult child? And then the OP says, sometimes it feels kind of validating and good to be able to talk about it. He has a lot of qualities as well. He has a lot of qualities. Good qualities. What kind of qualities? one of them being able to apologize and try to improve. He would probably be an okay dad now. I don't want to let him make any excuses or backside. Someone says, did you attempt to change or address these issues earlier? She says, yes, but some things changed, but he continued to do other stupid things. Yeah, as a society, as a whole, as women, we have got to hold these people to a higher standard. And I don't know what to say about this, but we let them off the hook too much. We give them too many hand claps and hand pats and for just doing simple basic things that they should be doing. And if they are the supposed leaders, they're the logical people, they should be able to care for the children that they create. But that's my thinking. Y'all go ahead and weigh in.